Magic Round is here, and before we get into that next week, I'm finally getting excited. It's one thing at a time, and we are here, round 9, but 2 games to go through, and Jamal Fogarty came out and absolutely dominated this one, and it was the game in the end where you wanted all Raiders, because Fogarty, Tapane, Horsburgh, Nicholson all had a cracking game, and even if you held on to a Starling and Tamale, it worked out really well also. And as you can see, a decent amount of scores at 50 plus, which is a win. Sometimes it's hard to get that, but we've got 8 50 plus. Usually means it's a decent fantasy scoring game. With Fogarty, picked up that try and the try assist late to lift him from the canvas, and well, got the 5 extra points overnight too, which didn't help the rank, but he was about 40 odd. If you take those 2 scores away, a couple of goals as well to finish this one off, and it was absolute rampage in the second half for the Raiders side. Great to see him actually run the footy. 55 run meters is a lot for Fogs after getting 8 the game before and not generating 1 point from running. And the funny thing is with that is in NRL Fantasy, if you run forward and then short ball or slightly back, let's just say you run 6 meters forward and then throw the ball 1 or 2 meters back, you will get the difference in meters gained. So for him to get 8 meters last week was pretty wild. But he got his attacking stats defensively and kick meters wise was there as well, which is awesome. And definitely is an option going forward. I personally went for Hynes and thought there would be a little bit more upside, and Fogarty was the one to have the big attacking stats in the end as well anyway, and the Sharks haven't scored a lot of points. And the difference between goals it can be a big thing as well. Tapane was 64. He picked up that try assist offload as well. So great to see him after the lower score and the slightly lower minutes last week to get back to business, and is definitely an option ready for round 12. Gilbo, what about Gilbo coming out with a 64 in 75 minutes, 56 tackles, 5 misses, back to some of his work from round 1, and actually ran the footy a bit as well. And the Gilbert Seyfarth combo that I had earlier on in the year, they both ran the footy plenty in this game just gone. So yeah, well done to anyone still sticking with a Gilbert or a Seyfarth. And I know a few people that were like, yeah, they've held him this whole time. Like, this is the one week I didn't play him. So tough times on that one. Horsburgh 61 for him in 55. So that was the big win. It was the extra minutes in this one compared to what we've seen in the last few weeks for him and Taps. So hopefully for them, it's going to be like okay, if you get 50 this week, it's 55. If you get 48 or 49 like last week, you get higher the next week. And at an average, if we can get sort of 53 minutes or so from Horse, his PPM has been terrific. And no offloads in this one to get a 61 in 55 minutes is incredible. So his work ethic's awesome. He's kept his discipline in check for the most part. He did have a forced dropout as well. So shout out to you, Horse. You've been great for my side. Very, very happy with that setup. And we had Nicholson who picked up that try after the... they're great sometimes when you're like, oh, give him the ball, and they use him as a decoy, goes through the line, and then Timoko makes the break on the outside, and then of course Nicholson's in beautiful position to get that try. So that was lovely viewing as an owner, and he got plenty of running as well, and he got close to his try early on in the game, picked up 2 tackle breaks, an offload to ground. Tackle numbers have been really good, and he's playing 80 minutes every week, even with a full squad. They literally have everyone available, and that's awesome now, and it allows me to... I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to hold both Wong and Nicholson, and it looks like Nicholson's going to be the consistent guy. That should be around the 50 mark or somewhere there, which is where he's priced at, and that's great. Yeah, we can get him for the first section of the buy period, and then hopefully we can make a decision on there, and if he's doing really well and scoring the odd try and getting mid-50s, then we can hold. So yeah, we'll see how that one plays out. If you did buy Hudson Young, you got close to scoring tries, but the work out of his own end as well. When there's a little bit of momentum, he'll just grab it from dummy half or get it first off the ruck and make plenty of meters. So he was good again for 55. Timoko with that line break try assist was awesome and had a great second half. And Starling's 52 in the 62 minutes there with the try saver. Good tackle numbers. Did miss a few, but ran the footy as well. Was a great hold from him. And I think that, as I've been saying the last few weeks, with Hooker being what it is, then he should be a hold, I think, all the way through to round 12. And if you are looking at guys like Aaron Clark or Wade Egan's a tougher one, but Clark with the mid duel, you can just play him at mid and play Starling at hooker. So that's fine. Farnworth, I thought was going to have a larger game in this one. Unfortunately, missed a few tackles. Tackle numbers a little bit lower than the high teens we've seen from him. 4 tackle breaks, a couple of easy offloads in there, which we see game in, game out for these type of players. Just the tackle breaks a little bit lower. Run meters at 150 as well. He was flying in his first half. You saw him after the try, 28 or whatever it was in 20 odd minutes. And then for the rest of the half, did pretty well also. Get into the 30s or whatever it was, mid-30s. To then have a slow second half because they got absolutely trounced. They were up 28-10 and then really fell away. If you want to hear my thoughts on the NRL for the weekend, go back and check out the 5 things I learned for round 8, guys. I appreciate that. And I've seen a few people ask about the private group, said you were promoting it before. Still am. All the information is in the description, guys, so go check that out. I keep lowering the price as the rounds go on, so you can come in, get some help, and get around the boys, because everyone's very helpful. Very nice. There's prizes available if you want to get around that. And we're doing a Magic Round meetup this week. I'm getting everyone a beer. And we'll have fun on Saturday. So get around that. If you want to join this week, you can come along to the Magic Round meetup as well. That'll be good fun. So you can meet the boys and the gals and get around it. So Farnworth 48, a little bit annoying, but the way this game panned out, it kind of made sense as they got whacked in the second half. Good 30 points on them. And Dolphins didn't score anything. So a lot of defense, a few missed tackles. It went from there. Hosking 48 with a try. He's just such a workhorse. I love watching him play. Hammer with an early try. 8 tackle breaks. Looking much better. But yeah, this turnaround in that second half was pretty rough for him. Not one we need to speak about given he's going to be in Origin. Tamale, 47 for him. What about Daniel Saifidi with a shoulder issue? 29 minutes, 47 with a try. He's had a really good season. Tamale, 47. It looks like we can hold him now. He's such a beast, man. We've said that from round 1, but there was a time there they just wouldn't give him the footy. And at least this was a bit back and forth. He could get lots of runs out of his half. And then he's someone that's very opportunistic. When he sees, he can get a quick, someone's got a quick play the ball and he can run it from dummy half. We saw that there and he got a line break from it. And then that work on the left-hand side off that Fogarty kick to get it back to Chris, then get it back again and see the opportunity and score himself. He is a try scorer and a tackle breaker. And these are the kind of guys that are dual position. I'm very, very glad I held him in the end. And I think, still a lot of people have him and doing well. So probably going to keep playing him. He has, harder matchups coming up, but he's doing great work. And I think it's the Storm this week, which will be tougher. But the Storm haven't been great in their own right the last few weeks as well. So maybe it'll be okay. Isaiah Katoa was on 36 before the 10-point update. So that's ideal. He's running the footy plenty. And to have no tackle breaks was pretty rough. He almost got through the line on one of them. Kick meters were solid. Got the try assist. A few more missed tackles than normal with the penalty as well. So not his best game. And his lowest score of the year, which is 46, is very, very good. So happy if you want to climb into Isaiah Katoa. Moving down the line, we've got not too much down here, have we? Thankfully, most of the players that people own did really, really well. So we'll leave that one there for that side and get over to the final game for the week, which was the Tigers. Getting that victory over the Sharkies and Terrell May with 104. What an absolute jet. Man, I love watching him play. He had 8 offloads overall, a couple of turnover tackles, and the 42 tackles made was great. So 3 tackle breaks in there. Very limited on the negatives. He did have that error that almost caused them the loss and didn't, thank goodness. And the penalty conceded. We actually all couldn't believe that he actually made an error, because the one before where he challenged it was like, no. Terrell May doesn't do things wrong at all. And he did the business there with the challenge and got that sorted. But 104, captain. I mentioned a few weeks ago, I'm just going to leave it on Terrell May and I'm not going to change it. He was averaging 75. Now it's 78.5. And he's basically playing full games now, or close to it. An increase from the start of the season when he was already a captaincy option. So, safe as they come, has all of the tools for a fantasy god. So, incredible. He'll be $950K after this at least, and on the way to $1 million, which is incredible. What we've seen from guys like Nico Hynes and Cleary in the past, and now we're going to see it from Terrell May, which is absolutely amazing. So shout out to him. Shout out to Adam Fanua-Blake with the 70 in 62 minutes, who was actually on about 47 just before full time and had a couple of things go right offload-wise and tackle break, and did have that error near the end as well. So, he didn't play awesome the way that they needed him to play to finish this game, but fantasy-wise, he was awesome and ripe and ready for the picking over the next few weeks as a mid, is the way I'm looking at it. Galvin, 70 in the full game for him. Got the try saver. Everyone was talking about him getting the field goal. Would have been a very fitting end to this saga. But good tackle numbers, good running of the footy. Did a great job in this one to help them get the win. Seyfarth was the big one here, 62 in 89 minutes. Back to some of his best work, 46 tackles. Plenty of running in the footy and 4 offloads as well. Where was that for the start of the season? So he's turned that form around over the last 2 weeks with a 40-odd into a 62. And exactly what you'd want as an owner of him. And he outdid Hynes, unfortunately, for myself. But I'm glad it ended up okay for Hynes because he didn't look great in this game for a good stretch. We saw very, very low kick meters. He got the first kick of the game, or one of them, and 42 kick meters. And then Trindle kick for the rest of it. And the way they were playing that was so stupid. They went to the left-hand side into the breeze. He was kicking, like trying to turn his body to kick, where you needed to actually get a full launch. You couldn't just bomb it up. You need to actually launch it, and going to the right for Hynes to launch down into the wind was the better play, and they still weren't going to it. So that was frustrating. Hynes looked way better in the second half. That last play of the first half, and then from about 55 minutes was a big improvement for him. That's the worry though, the worry is here that you've got him not being involved, not kicking the footy a lot. The positive side is he didn't play very good for about 60 minutes of this game, and he got 60 and outdid his price. So you can look at it in 2 ways. Got the 2 try assists. There was that Hazleton one. How in the world did Galvin stop that? Incredible try saver. That would have been another try assist and a goal under the sticks. So that would have been 60s. I think it was like high 50s before the extra time. But that would have been like a mid 60s, game over. Maybe high 60s would have been great. And you walk away and go 3 try assists, 4 goals. Awesome. Could have had the field goal as well to get an extra 5. So yeah, solid overall. But when Fogarty got the 73, it hurts a little bit. But that were the 2 good options, and I've got 56 and 60. If you're a Fogarty owner, I think you got 73 and 57 or something. So you've outdone it just a little bit, but both were good picks. Can you get him long? Over the next bunch of weeks for sure. Is Fogarty safer? Potentially. Is he an easier watch? Yes. McInnes, a really big game here, 58 in 69. Obviously, a lot of these scores are very high. You've got heaps of 50-plus games, given the landscape of this game with the extra 9 minutes as well. And if you had a bunch of players like myself, it was a big win. It's one of those ones where it worked out for my side, and I have to acknowledge that because we do complain a lot, as we all do in fantasy. And when you have like 0 players or 1 player and everyone else has like 3 or 4, I had my captain and 2 other players in this one. So I was very happy with the extra time, and we have to acknowledge that when it works out for us. McInnes definitely an option as well. He's getting closer to the 700k mark, which is awesome. Scoring basically around that mark. It's Samuela with the try. Hazleton, Kennedy, all big scores there. Adam Dewey, 52. If he did sell, then that's frustrating. This is the best game we've seen from him at centre, fantasy scoring wise, and only had the 1 negative stat in a missed tackle. So great work for Adam in this one if you hold on, and hopefully that means you can survey the landscape a little bit more. And if you don't want to, if you have someone else to sell, then you can hold very easily, which is good. Buller with a solid game there, 48 for him. Luai 40 in this one. Stafford Toa 38 with that terrific try assist. That was very, very impressive. Picked up the 3 tackle breaks. No offload from that play, unfortunately. Broke a couple, and then he was just before grabbing onto the guy, did the flick pass and got the try assist. But he's very impressive. And, we saw the 27 last week. We see the 38 in this one. This is what you probably should expect at best from a Tigers centre, and he really delivered. He has really delivered over this period. I think he had like a 33 break even or so we'll make a tick of cash, and is definitely someone you can upgrade, but is doing a job at the same time. And yeah, you could hopefully continue seeing that. So either way is fine on the sell or the hold front. Nicaragua with the sin bin in this one. He just continues to be pretty poor, unfortunately. And even though his price is getting lower, I'm not sure if we can buy him as yet, because the scoring, he had a heap of tries early and he's still averaging 44. So he's someone that I don't know if we can actually climb into, given he just isn't playing really good footy. And the scores, they could come, but they may stay a little bit low. And to finish this one off, we had Hiroti go off with a medial injury, unfortunately, to his knee. Was really struggling a bit, and that was great for Stafford, given he was getting try assists and a couple of tackle breaks and whatever else. So when they took him off, it was like, oh, they went to Stafford less after that. So yeah, tough one there. If you bought Trindle, 18, just hates fantasy stats, eh? Like, even if he plays decent footy, he just hates getting decent stats. So we'll leave it there, guys, for the wrap up for fantasy for round 8. Super excited to get into the round results and get things prepped for Magic Round. I'm super excited for that. Get things going. You've got 3 trades to use. A lot of people are going to make Magic Round trades if they're going to it and they want to see a certain guy play. Hopefully things settle down a little bit with the noise around the head knocks and everything like that, and the sin bins, because there has been a lot of talk in the media. John Z was losing his mind, which is fair enough, and a lot of other people are talking as well. So hopefully that gets sorted, and we'll see you for the rest of the week. Plenty of videos. I'll get back on TikTok and Instagram, guys. If you're lovely enough to give me a follow on those, just to help those numbers out, it helps with the business long term, like to build those things up, get more people involved, get more people watching, all the good stuff like that. If you're a long-term fan, I do really appreciate you guys, and they're the best ways to help support. Even if you don't have notifications on for those things, if you just want the notifications for YouTube and podcasts, that's an awesome thing to have, and I appreciate that so much. So thanks for the week. Thanks for, as I said, the time when I was away as well, to continue watching. You're all the best, and can't wait to see how this week plays out. See you guys.